Well, Luna, we're bound to find him somewhere. Maybe that Renan wasn't such a bad dude after all. After I used this scroll, I mean, we've got plenty of meat, so in case we run into one of those blood-sucking leech wads, we'll be just fine. Easily the most undervalued item in the game. Yes, my van is currently on in October. No, I don't regret it. I do, however, regret not recording that skit in higher quality, but you know what? It is what it is. This is my take on the vampires from Castlevania 64. I actually made this mask a while ago. It's just a half mask, you know, with the elastic strap and everything. You could argue that a Velcro strap would be a little more durable, especially for haunts, which I'm currently working at now. I just don't like the way they pull my hair, though. It just seemed like the best decision. Anyway, I took great care into sculpting this thing because I obviously wanted to remain true to the, not the blockiness, but just whatever basic features you could get out of the blocks. I even used permablood for the teeth, which, more on that in a second, but I basically sculpted it out as simple as just a big scowling face. I've got a technique that I do now where, similar to my haunted mask, where the eyes are further apart than they should be, kind of like Dove Cameron, but not as weird. And you see throughout the corners where the red part would be. It's not that obvious from a distance, you know? But when you get up close, he's like right in your face. Oh, hey, I can see your fucking peepers. I also used pumpkin teeth when I was sculpting. I wish the technique would have... this would have been so much better if I'd done this now, because I didn't realize... I'm kind of still new to this, but I didn't realize that you could water the latex down with distilled water and make sure it gets in all the cracks and crevices that pumpkin teeth cause. Because fetus me had a technique where you basically build the latex on itself with a Q-tip for the teeth. And yeah, you know, it looks okay in hindsight. I could have done better, but, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll remake this one. I've still got the mold. Yeah, it just comes on like so. I love the bats behind me. I just realized that. I still prefer werewolves over vampires, but I think if more vampires looked bestial like this, you know, that'd be a little more, I don't know, it just might get my attention a little more. The fake hair that I used for the vampire is pretty much the same fake hair I use on my werewolves. In fact, this is actually the same fake hair that Mikey from Glam and Gore used for her Yeti. I literally followed the link in her description and found some of the brown stuff. Hers was white, obviously, but, you know, this works, man. It's really good stuff. She's self-taught too, which, you know, I was going to follow some example. Maybe not all of her examples, obviously. Painting it, I definitely could have done a better job. I don't use... In fact, I think I should have addressed this initially, but when I talked about painting latex in my Art the Clown video, I basically said, oh, hey, you can use whatever acrylic paint you want. It's like, nope. Fiddle-dee-dee. You could probably get away with doing craft paint, you know, like the apple barrel stuff or whatever. You could probably get away with using this as long as you mix it with the mask casting latex and distilled water, 1/3 of each, and just eyeball it. But that was mistake number one, was mentioning that house paint, they cut a lot less corners making that than they do the cheap stuff, which is, even to this day, with record inflation, only pocket change by comparison. It's... Pro tip, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably fucking is. But other than that goof, it's basically all just black with light blue dry brushed over it. I went red over the black, and then I put white over that with some Liquitex high gloss varnish, which I also used for the mouth and the teeth, which, yeah, it gives it that glossy, wet look. on the tongue and the lip here. I probably would have used it on the teeth if I hadn't already permablooded them up. Although you probably should Liquitex over the permablood, because I wasn't aware how tacky the permablood texture is, actually. So that's the only thing I would have done differently is, well, that and the fucking teeth themselves. But yeah, no, I'm actually really, especially the ears on this bad boy. Like, look at that. It's not at all anatomically accurate to a human ear, but especially from this angle here, those aren't bad ears. In fact, just looking at this thing, I'm already excited to do a Wolfman one of these days. But yeah, maybe that video is coming soon. But if you like, please like. Feel free to share obscure little thoughts in the comments below, as well as to share the video itself. Subscribe if you wish to see more. Don't forget to hit the bell if you do. And as always, thank you so very much for watching. And I love you all. We'll be just fine in case we run into one of those meaty bastards. We'll be just fine in case we run into one of those blood-sucking cocks. We'll be just fine if we run into one of those blood-sucking leech wads. My lantern's not even on. I'm so prepared for this, aren't I? Aren't I?